What's up? It's Raphael with NBA Draft Junkies. Today, I have a guest, Dakota Schmidt, who writes for Ridiculous Upside. Wanted to get Dakota's opinion on this new G League path. So, Dakota, tell me, as far as what you know, what happened today?
Well, at around noon Central Time, Jalen Green on IG Live officially declared to go to the G League with their professional pass program. However, he's going to be taking a different path than what the G League originally proposed like a year or two ago. So he'll be making $500,000. Going to be also $500,000 on a team that's outside of the regular G League schedule. So they'll be playing a different schedule than like the main Red Claws, South Bay Lakers, those teams. And he'll be playing alongside Isaiah Todd, who declared just a little bit later. Potentially some other top-notch high school kids that take this route, and some veterans.
What do you think about it? Like, for me, there's a lot of questions. I was talking to some friends yesterday when I first heard about it. I said it doesn't make sense for a kid to take the $125,000, especially if they go to a team that doesn't really have any incentive to play them. Like, I was thinking the team could end up with him and stash him, hurt his stock, so maybe that they can put themselves in position. And then also, if you're a team that does, you get like a Jalen Green or whatever, and you don't even have his rights for the next season. So to me, that didn't make sense. So for them to come out with this special team does make some sense on one front, but my question is, who are they going to play? Like, I mean, if they're playing these academy teams, I don't even know if that's even going to be much competition for them.
Yeah, definitely. With a guy like, Jalen Green, who is a top 5 high school kid, like ESPN has him number 1. I think Cade Cunningham,
I got Cade
definitely a better player than him, but Jalen Green is up there. He's an elite player and would be projected to be in the lottery in 2020 during the 2021 draft. Also, Isaiah Todd, what is he, a top 15 player?
Yeah.
Top 15 player. So, them top 5, top 15 guy, and some other kids, and also some veterans. I don't know if they're gonna be like G League veterans or NBA veterans.
That I have a lot of questions about that.
Yeah, but like them going against academy players that are like 16, 17, 18. Some of those kids have gone on to play at some colleges, but like I don't think that competition will be, best for them, because it's basically like going against an AAU team.
Worse. I mean, I think like if you're, if like for Jalen Green playing at Prolific Prep, his high school schedule was probably a lot tougher than playing one of these academy teams, especially if a lot of the best players are in Europe and they're already on club teams in Europe.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. I just have a lot of questions.
Yeah, they also said there are going to be around 10 to 15 games against G League teams. So that's definitely going to be, solid competition for them, because I think the G League is up there when it comes to talent level. Like, you can argue that the ACB and EuroLeague are better, but there's definitely really good talent in the G League. For example, the Naismith College Player of the Year just a few years ago, Frank Mason, he spent a lot of time in the G League with the Wisconsin Herd. Yeah. So there's definitely a lot of talent in the G League. I just want to see how like the talent level, the competition level balances out. Like, are there going to be more games against G League teams than there are against academy teams? And, what kind of international teams are they going to be going against? Because the Jonathan Gavoni article pointed that out. Like, they might also go against international teams. are those the international teams that the um, G League, like the RGB Vipers or Austin Spurs, have played in the past? Like teams from Brazil or whatever? There's still a lot of questions that need to be answered. Also, like which who's going to be the head coach's team? Sam Mitchell has been pointed out as an option in that Jonathan Gavoni article. Who are going to be the assistant coaches? Who are going to be the veterans? There's still a lot of questions that need to be answered, but obviously we're just like 2 hours into
Yeah.
this whole thing, and we have a full summer and maybe fall. I don't know when the G League season is going to begin in the 2020-21 G League season is going to begin because we're also in the middle of a global pandemic. So
Right.
I, I'm just confused and just trying to process everything.
Yeah, I mean, you can't deny the money. $500,000 with the ability to be able to get, endorsements. I mean, that's too
Yeah.
good.
You have to think a guy like Isaiah or a guy like Jalen Green and maybe even Isaiah Todd, but Jalen Green in particular, top five, uh, player, already has almost 900,000 followers on IG on Instagram. So he's definitely going to get a big time shoot deal out of this.
Right.
You have to think. So, but yeah, they're going to be making really good money out of this just from contracts alone, but also with potential endorsement deals. But I think I want to talk about this with you as somebody that worked. Then it was the D League. I hope the extra money that seems to be pumping in to the G League goes out to the actual players on the 28 teams because the contracts just a few years ago upgraded to 35,000. But I think that needs to be significantly improved to maybe 50, 75, or 100,000.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's still crazy that the buyout is more than their contracts.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is now. I know when I was working in the G League, I think the buyout was like 50,000, and the most you can make was like 28, and that was only like, you know, a few players that were on the A-level contracts. I definitely think they need to upgrade the salary and even the travel. Make travel better. I don't know how much possible that is. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't
you
think
can't
that.
have 7-footers riding the coach.
Yeah, but you know what? Just living in I was in China, and the team that I was with there was a team that went to the CBA finals last year, and they flew same way, going through
Really.
airports every
Even guys that were like that they
every
signed into big
7 foot,
deals,
and they were
Americans.
sitting there, yeah, and they live in dorms in the CBA, unless you're an import player. Other than that, their living conditions are probably very similar to the G League, if not worse, and they're making a lot of money. But as far as getting guys to stay over, I definitely think they need to raise the money. I don't think this pandemic helped. As far as like you hear about the money the NBA is going to lose, so I don't think that helped in that cause.
Yeah.
As far as
There's I've been following and covering the G League for 8 years
a
now.
while, yeah,
Yeah, but there like appears to be like a 2-3 year expiration date with most guys in the G League.
this doesn't help. I definitely think they need to raise the money, but I also feel like if you have enough money to pay a high school kid $500,000, then that's more than the budget of most of the teams, if I'm not mistaken, half
Yeah,
a million dollars. But that's why I figure that they should at least, if you're gonna pay the high school kids that much money, I want to see them out in the real G League schedule. I want them to be thrown to the wolves. That's what I want to see.
yeah,
And it doesn't look like they're doing it. It looks like they're going to try to make the path easy for the players. They may want to not hurt anybody's draft stock, so other players will do it.
yeah. But it
So
would be really interesting to see Jalen Green. What is he, 6'5" guard? how he matches up, how he's able to score on somebody like Justin Anderson or somebody like Jamario Jones, or I know he's more of a forward, but also like Josh Reeves, who is a Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, was on a two-way deal with the Texas Legends,
Yeah.
tremendous defender. Like, how would he be able to match up against those extremely talented players that essentially have 1 foot in the NBA?
Those hungry players, like that's
Yeah,
what I
those
said.
hungry players.
Throw them out to the wolves. Like those guys. I mean, they already have a chip on their shoulder because they're trying to, get their name up out there.
Especially guys like, in my examples, like Demario and especially Justin, that have been there before and want to go back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably the most disappointing thing to me is they're not going to get the full schedule. I wonder, are they going to put? I'm sure they're going to put them in the showcase.
Yeah.
But I mean, are they what veterans are they going to put on their teams? Like, if I don't know, I have so many questions. And then is with the veterans on their teams, are they going to want to take a back seat to a high school kid? Because I'm sure that veteran is trying to get back in the NBA also.
Mm-hmm.
And then the money thing, I think the money thing is going to create a sense of jealousy also.
Definitely. And I feel like I'm just thinking like the roster construction of this proposed LA team right now. Like Jalen Green is like I've just started watching film, but he kind of seems like a jack of all trades kind of player. He's solid at individual traits. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen him play. I saw him play in a high school game here in Dallas last year. It was his junior year. He had a crazy game. He had like 46 points. And then I had an opportunity to see him play this summer for Team USA, or last summer for Team USA. I felt like when he had his own team, he looked really, really good. But when he was on the USA team where he wasn't, he was on a team full of other guys and he came off the bench, I wasn't as high on him. I had him higher than Cade when I saw them play in high school. But then after last summer, I felt like Cade was the better player because I feel like Cade could play with anybody. He didn't need to dominate the ball. He just makes everyone better. I felt like Jalen's game is suited for him to be the number one option. And it seems like this G League system or a team or whatever is going to put him in position to be the number one option and give him as many shots as possible. At least that's just how I feel about it right now because he's going to be the face of this program. So they're going to put him in the best position to succeed.
Yeah, and I feel like they're gonna have to be really careful with the players. Like, if you don't get enough high school players to join this team, I feel like we're gonna eventually see like a domino effect over the next few days and weeks after this story. But like, what kind of veterans are gonna have? Like, are you gonna have guys that are fine with being role players that are just like shoot like guys that could just stand in the corner and jack up threes like Reggie Hearn, or guys that are able to push the ball like pass first guys like Josh Majette, or dudes that are can play D and also bigs that can play D and rebound like Daniel Chapu, who is a guy that I really liked when he was in the G League. Like, what are they gonna do to put Jalen Green and Isaiah Todd and these guys in the best situation possible? Because the goal of this is to push Green and Todd to be top 5 player for Green, and lotto pick for Isaiah Todd, so other players can take this route in 2021 and 2022 until the one and done rule ends.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I haven't been around the G League in a while, but I remember there were years where you had guys that were like 10-year vets that would come down. So I remember like when the Legends had like Melvin Ely, he would have been fine with that. Maybe even when they had like Antonio Daniels, guys that were, they've made their money and were looking more so to get back in the NBA, but also to be mentors. Now, if they can find those guys, I think that'll be a good fit. It's just a matter of finding those guys. Luckily, they'll be in LA, so that's a place that guys will want to live if they're veteran type players. But off the top of my head, I can't really think of any guys like that unless Jamal Crawford is open to a role like that, which I'm not sure. So again, I'm
Like, is
curious
Damien
about
Wilkins willing to come out of retirement?
who's that?
Damien Wilkins?
Oh, wasn't he just playing like 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah, he played in, I think, 2017-18 with
Yeah,
Greensboro. He looked great. He put up great numbers.
yeah,
And he's definitely I've had a chance to talk to him a few times and he's a really nice guy, and he wants to work in the NBA eventually as like a GM. And I feel like this can also be like a good opportunity for recently retired guys that want to get their foot in the door as coaches,
yeah.
or because you'll have a great opportunity to try to nurture these 18-year-old kids like Todd and Green.
Yeah, just I can't think of it off the top of my head that I think would be a really good fit, but I'm sure there are.
Yeah. What other questions do you have in your mind about this?
Like in your opinion, if they were to do a full G League schedule, I was talking to somebody today on Facebook, and they were saying like, "Oh, these kids they'll come in and they'll kill in the G League." And I'm like, no, I think people underestimate the G League. If
Mm-hmm.
if they play like a real G League schedule, how do you think they would do?
That's tough because a lot of people underestimate how talented G League players are. Like, these are 25, anywhere from 23 to 28-year-old players that had really great college careers and excelled at the SEC level or Big Ten level. Like I mentioned, Josh Green, Big Ten defensive player of the year. That isn't anything to scoff at,
Right.
And you have a lot of other extremely talented players that excelled at the college level, and like you said, they're hungry. They're more athletically built because they've had the opportunity to mature.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, man, maybe like if we get enough like top 10 guys, maybe have them over 500 during G League season. It's hard to say because we really haven't seen anything like this. Like the only case like of a teenager playing in the G League that didn't spend time in college I remember is Alan Smolajek, who's now with Golden State.
Yeah.
And he took a while to develop, and he was second round pick, but obviously he he's a good young player, but he's not at the level of Jalen Green is.
I felt like if the Santa Cruz would have played him more and actually showcased him, he would have been a first round pick.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, because I think he's really talented. They didn't play him much, but like when you watch him, you saw like glimpses, a lot of glimpses of what he could potentially be.
And I think
I also feel like maybe they were hiding him a bit.
Yeah, I definitely. I feel 100% that they were hiding him. I mean, they traded didn't they trade like 2 picks to get him? And he was 18? He's 19 now, maybe. So yeah, I feel 100% they were hiding him, and that's why I felt like the G League had to come up with a plan to make sure that none of their path guys end up in a similar situation where a team decides to hide them.
Yeah, like you have somebody that isn't Dylan Green that wasn't a top 10 ESPN or 24/7 sports guy that decides to go, but like a team like the RGV Vipers or the Texas Legends, they have them there as a professional path program, And in training camps or practices or whatever, like they're like, okay, this guy is better than we expected, but we don't want to show how good he is against his competition, so we're not going to play him that much for the Legends or for the Vipers.
Yeah,
So
I can see it.
they get a chance to kind of hold on to him, and I guess like decrease his draft value and decrease how the amount of interest other teams may have in him. So that's why I like how this team is not affiliated with anybody else. It's just
Yeah.
an NBA G League team that's not affiliated with the Lakers or with the Mavs.
Now, question. This is related to the G League, but not this path program. Is the Mexico City team supposed to start next season?
Yes.
I wonder how. I wonder if they're going to put local players on that team. I'm sure they are for for
Because
market.
this was an already established team that played in competitions.
That's right.
It's gonna be interesting to see how that team transfers to the G League. Like, are they gonna open up more spaces for American-born players, or are they gonna just keep the roster like it is? Or that's definitely something that I'd be really interested to see because like I feel like you have to um okay, with this Mexico City team, like, will they participate in the G League draft? Or are they gonna have like local tryouts like other G League teams do? Because they can't have Exhibit 10 guys or assignees like the Bucks, or I mean the Wisconsin Herd or the Maine Red Claws do,
Yeah.
because they're not affiliated with the NBA team. And now with two A's, Exhibit 10s, assignees, that's how the majority of G League rosters are filled.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would think they would get the first pick in the draft.
Yeah.
They should get that. But then I
But
also wonder, like,
the actual value, like with two A's and more players signing Exhibit 10 deals, like the actual value of the G League draft has gone down to
quite
a
a
good
bit.
amount.
Yeah. And then I also wonder, like, if they had the first pick in the draft, and if someone doesn't want their client to go there, do they like not put their name in the pool yet? If you're the guy that's projected to go number one, and do you just wait until the waiver wire comes up again and the better situation comes?
Yeah, because that Mexico City team is unknown quantity, compared to like the Memphis Hustle or the Raptors on a five or
Yeah.
the Austin Spurs or the Sioux Falls Skyforce that have a reputation of being able to build players and have success at the
Yep.
G League level.
Yeah. Well, all right, man. I enjoyed chatting with you. I'll put this on my NBA Draft Junkies YouTube channel. I'm trying to put it up today. So I appreciate you taking the time on a short notice, actually reaching out to me. So where
Yeah.
can the people find you at as far as your work?
Um. RidiculousUpside.com. I'm going to be writing a good amount about this. Jalen Green, G League prospect team in LA news. At Ridic Upside, RIDIC Upside, and personally at Dakota_Schmidt. All that. Again, Ridiculous Upside at RIDIC Upside, Ridic Upside, and at Dakota DAKOTA_Schmidt SCHMIDT.
All right, cool, man. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. And we'll have to do this again soon.
Definitely.
All right, sounds good.